Sorry, just trying to get my camera angle half decent. So I know that this is clashing with Artist Till Death. So sorry about that. It's just the timing of the sculpting, and this is my third stage. So I'm just getting set up. I'm not expecting many people on for the third one because UK people have gone to bed now, and America's got Artist Till Death's gone, and yeah. So I will just do this for the people that may watch this back and see how they feel about this. So I will just get on with it, and I'll imagine that people are watching this back. So I am going to work with my inside one first, and then we'll come and do the bigger one. I think it's important that you do it that way, just so you know it's all going to fit. So I am going to start removing my tape, and I will save it. I've got a different angle this time, only because my tape's on the wall behind me, so it's going to be easy for me to grab when I'm going to repost this, so I will do that. So I've just seen that there's a few people watching. Thank you. Hello again. We're on the final stages. I'm just slowly demoulding. Sorry that it's conflicting with Artist Till Death's live. It's just the way the timing's gone. But how have you been since I last saw you? What have you been up to? Oh, hello dear. How are you? Hello. Thumbs up. Thank you for everybody for joining. If you haven't already, if you can give me a little thumbs up, that'll help my channel. Oh, I've got the cats in here, so I'm assuming you're going to get a guest appearance from the cat. I just need to move my artwork before he stands on it and ruins it. They are curious little creatures. I know he's going to jump up. I can see him. He's just behind me. They'll probably try and say hello to you all as well. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm excited. It's cured pretty much similar to as we left it. I'm always a bit nervous that some pieces are going to pop off. And what have I done since I saw you? I've tidied up my studio a little bit, put all my gems away, and I've had a go at doing my first go at doing a silicone mould, like creating one. So I've been on a learning journey. Look, all the cups are going to be salvaged and reused. So I've been on a learning journey, which has been interesting. And I'm one of those, I can watch plenty of videos, but unless I get my hands on it, I don't know how to do it. So on my first one, I've not videoed it, but I will show you it demoulding to see if it works. So that's been interesting, but that took me a lot of time. And I'm not a hot glue gun expert, so to get my mould dam to stop it running and using a hot glue gun, I've burnt myself in 3 places. It gets really hot on a hot glue gun, who'd have figured? So yeah, but other than that, I've been that's all I've been doing really. It's gone so quick. I finished chapter on the other one from Alabama. Hello Becky, thank you for doing that. Oh, it's 4:44 somewhere, bless you. Yes, so the mould I'll show you when I demould it tomorrow, see what it's like. But yes, if you've not seen how I've got to this, there are 2 stages that went before it. So if you have any time in the near future, have a little look over. I'm going to show you how easily this removes from the paper. Oh, hello Hades. Sorry, I got the cats here. So it's still bendy, look. It is still going to move, but I want it to be where I am able to move it still. So whenever you're demoulding these, I always... First, to make sure I've got all my masking tape off. That will make life much easier, Sharon. I've made sure that where it's stood on the floor at the minute, there is no gems or anything going to scar it. But as I pull it out of this paper, I'll stand it on top of this with a shiny side up. There you go. You just have to tease it off sometimes. And I'm being very gentle just to make sure I'm not going to punch my finger through any of this, because it's such a long one. There is a risk of that, but it pulls away fairly freely. The sticky part is really just around where the crystals are, and there'll be some more crystals that fall off. That's okay, because we're still on the final stages of sculpting it and fixing any problems. Sorry, I will look at what you're saying anyway. you, my friends. Oh, Lindley. Oh, there is a Lindley club which my brother runs on Facebook. I don't think you're part of that group. Alright, so this I'll be able to reuse. I'll just clean all my crystals off and use that. So I am going to come in with this again. So because it's now going to be stood other way, this is now being used really as an anchor, so something to hold it to. So I'm going to go where I had it before, but I am going to bring my paper back under so I can stand it on. I forgot about that. This is what you could do with an extra pair of hands, somebody just helping you. Constantly looking to make sure I'm not leaving anything. Now, because this paper, this cup has got the cellophane on it, it's not going to stick to it as it cures. But what I am going to start to do is think about my sculpture and how I want it. But the most important thing you have to remember is you need to get your glass out. So you have to make sure you sculpt around it in a way that you'll still be able to remove it. Just going to tighten that up. Anybody got any questions? It's from some Illinois. Yeah, everybody's, it's wake time over there. So I feel I want that one to bend around like that. I'm trying to think about where this is going to land it here. Now, don't worry about this masking tape. It's not going to leave any marks on your resin. And if I feel I need to put some more stuff in between to pad it out, I will do. And this is my box of paper that I have that I reuse over and over again. Just in case you want to make sure it doesn't go too upwards and you want to get a nice little shape or keep it. Hello, ladies. It's going to pop up behind me now. I don't know if you can see him. Is he there? Yeah. You're going to get some of my water. That's very nice of you. Sorry. They get everywhere. So I'm also going to pull, you might not be able to see it here. I'm going to get rid of some of this. I'll try and, as I'm doing it, show you what I'm doing. So there's a natural little curve here. So I'm going to try and pull that around there. I want there to be a little height in the centre, curves around there, which I like, and then I'm going to pull that part there up again for a little bit of height in the middle, and same on the other edge. It's going to be quite, it's not going to be a lot in the middle on this one, but I wanted it to be mainly be around the edges. And then this is the part where I kind of want it to go like this. So this is going to take quite a bit of scaffolding, people. But if I do it like this to start with, at least it's going to give me something to work on. And then I'll be able to work out then how much I want it to bend or sag. And again, I just want to put some cups in between there. Now, because I am putting cups in between here, it is important that you put some of this non-sticky paper around it just to make sure the resin doesn't adhere to it. I'm looking for my scissors. There they are. Any questions? Does Iridescent shine with foil stick to the resin paste? No. If it's got, I do a patch test to start with, and if it's got like a high shine on it like this, it's not going to stick to it. The cup itself would, because it's still got the, it's still tacky. I did that too thin. It's got the ability to still stick to stuff, because when I put this to this, it's going to bond together still. I hope that made sense. How thin does it have to be so it doesn't crack? That's a good question. Some of these pieces are quite thin. There are a couple of mils. It's very hard to show you, but you can get them crack. I've had them crack, and I just put some UV resin on it, a bit of crystals to cover it, and fixed it up. So I'm just trying to put this in here. The cup doth come back again. And the reason being, I want it to bow out at the middle. Just want to make sure it's all covered. But again, you have to remember to get it out, and then I'm going to pull the tape back around it. So I'm going to do it so you can see it. So I've put that in here to create a little structure for it to curve around, but for it still to come in. Now, this is where I'm just going to keep working it and keep moving it until I get the shape that I like. just keep working it. Don't feel you have to get it perfect right away. And then as you add the next piece, you might decide, no, I want it more curvy. But you have to start from somewhere. So you see me there, I'll just put that around there. And I'm going to do the same here. I quite like it twisted. A lot of the time I try and work with it rather than against it. And I think this is where, to your question, if you do these 3 stages and don't miss them out, you're less likely going to ruin your resin because you're not forcing it. You're manipulating it all the times when it's got enough bend in it to twist, such as like this. And you just need to make sure that your scaffolding is going to help with gravity. So I really enjoy that. There's a nice little wave around there, bend, and it's coming up and down. So I think it's interesting. It's coming around there. I do like the way it's gone in a little bit there. I like the way it's come around here, and I like the way it's twisted here. The only thing I'm not too sure on is if I need to tweak it a little bit and make it go slightly more angled. But for now I'm happy. I know I'll be able to get my glass out of there. So next stage is to take the other one out. So this is the one that's got the cellophane wrapper. So this one usually comes away easiest of all of them. But this has got a lot more creasing in it. So let's see if there's any more questions before I move on. Way welcome for everybody that's made it. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't hit that thumbs up for me, have a little go. That really helps. Alright, so now this is the one that's not so forgiving with the tape. Because it's very fragile. It'll come away from the resin the easiest I've known anything come away. But if you get any of your tape stuck to it that you don't want, it doesn't always come off without ripping it. Did good there. So let me see where I've put my cups. So I'm just removing those first. Very gently. It's really weird how this will break it rather than the resin. Oh, another cup salvaged. You can tell the cup police. I'm being very good with my recycling. Alright. This is the part I normally fast forward on my videos. Not because there's anything to hide, it's just more, it takes time. And sometimes it'll just work beautifully and it forms itself, and then other times you just have to keep going back to it and working it. Are you laughing at me about the cut police there? And I want to know, Cheryl, did you actually get into doing some art? Did you get in the studio? Hi, Sharon. Hello, Patricia. Welcome. You made it to a live. Yes. Yeah, these colours are really nice. I wish I could say that I create pigments. I don't. But this is the ice pack from Resonate. So I did fire. I'm thinking of doing a fire and ice one. So maybe one layer with fire and the other with ice, and see how that looks. Might be a bit in your face. I think it might be good. Ooh. Typical day for me in the art studio. Oh, dear me. Alright, so this is just about ready to come off this. Best thing I've ever purchased for art. Didn't really purchase it for art. It's something like, it's one of these flasks that you've got 5 different layers in it. Oh, I'm losing it. That's what you've got to watch, your scaffolding, and that's sometimes why I put one more piece around it just to make sure, because I use them over and over, and they do lose their stickiness a little bit too much. But what I was talking about is this. It's like a flask, but it's got such a really nice space. So again, just make sure you've got all your gems out of the way, and if this is going to be really kind to me, it's going to come away really easy, and I'll be able to show you how easy it peels away. This one peels away way easier than any other things that I use on sculptures, so it is the best. Alright, and you can use that over and over as well. Hello Leah, thank you for making the live. After it's set and dried completely, does water bother it? Nope, once it's fully cured, you can use them as vases. So this one I envisage coming out the same, but it's only when I start to put it in do I think, nah, that's not meant to go that way. And then we tweak it. So I'm just going to pop it on the base here and make sure there's no crystals, because they're getting everywhere. It's like crystal maze. Gently lay it down, and you just got to remember where your base was. Now, in my head, when I was creating them, I imagined it would go, gosh, I can get it right, this way. Now I just want to see if that's where I feel it's meant to be. And I feel that's where it's meant to be. So it's just a matter of sculpting it. So because it's tacky, this resin is now going to start sticking to the bottom, and this weight also helps it. But you have to make sure that when it does contact it is where you want to go, because like here, it's going to really not want to come away. But I am happy where it is. So I'm just going to bend it this way. I don't know if I showed you. So here, that part made contact with it and it's stuck there itself. Now I could pull that away, and there's a chance you could make a hole with it. There's a chance that it'll just be fine. But I'm happy to leave it that way and just add support there, because I want it to look like it's part of it but breaking off separately. And then when I'm coming around here, I'm just looking at what this is going to look like. So I can feel it's quite weak there where it's got a bend in it naturally, but I kind of like it like that. So this definitely will not be a vase to hold water. There's too many gaps. And I'm trying to work out where I want it. So I feel I want it here for now. So I'm just going to put it here to support it and take the weight of it while I work on the sculpting part. What do you all think to this so far? Oh! Oh. I think it had a little tantrum. It's saying give me more support. Right, I'm just going to do this. Just make sure it really is where I want it to be to start with, and then I'll come back and tweak it. The more you can take the weight of it, the less like you have to put your finger through, bend it in places you don't want, or put extra strain on it. So I am now going to be looking at this part here, and I definitely want it to be slightly lifted up. I just think even if you've got a candle in there or some lights, just that raised edge there, I think will add a little interest to the sparkle as it goes round. And you may choose not to do that, it's fine. But I also feel I want that part slightly closer there, again, so it's raised. Again, I'll come back and tweak. So then I've got a shape coming up, interest. So I want to pad out this area here, so it's got more of a curvature. So cup police, I'm getting my cups back. Glad you're enjoying the shapes. The colours on this are just beautiful. If I do say so myself, and I can because I never made them. So I'm not bragging. Alright, let's have a little look. Alright, so we are going now to shove this in here and hopefully get it to pop in the right place. So gently squeeze it together while I put it in, not to put it too much out of shape, but just so it's going to fit in. I want to make sure there's no hard edges that is going to ruin the other pieces that's there. I'm not getting it to the right area. I might have to sacrifice a cup to get it in the right spot. I do apologise. And if it's not going to go, I'm just going to take it out of its little hammock and fit it around it, because I think that'll be the easiest thing to do. It's like you're wrapping a present to yourself. And then if it's still not right, I'll then bulk it out with something else. But I still feel like it needs a little bit more curvature. It's not quite the right size. Oh, you watched the yellow one? Oh, that one made me cry. It's really bizarre. You know, when you just do something, you just think it's so pretty. It's such a happy piece. So I'm working out how to get this behind the cup just to push it out again. And Sharon, do what you said you were going to do, which is take it off. Alright, so I'm now going to work on this part here, and then I'm going to work on the sides. And then I start to look at balance. You may want to look at balance first, not me. I kind of like to do that towards the end. Alright, so. Oh, I ain't got the birds tweeting for you this time. Alright, so now I'm going to look at the sides, and I want to make sure that these stay curving around a little bit. And then I'm going to check that it's not just too straight. I feel like that needs to curve a little bit. Start getting to the fine detail now, and that's the part I really enjoy as well. So I want that to bend round, but I do not want it to go flat. So I'll check that. I'm going to pull this part around here, but I want to make sure it's curved rather than flat. And then I think I want to do a twist here. Sorry, I'm just looking at the balance now. What do you reckon? If I put them in there like that, is it going to look too similar? Have a little look. Just going to twist it down a little bit, but not a lot. Put it into the cup. Almost looks like a love art, look. Ooh. Alright, so. Sorry, just going to bend down and see. I'm watching while I clean silicone molds. See, I think that I'm probably adding a lot of joy to your work. So I cleaned lots of silicone cups today and yesterday, and it can be tedious, but well done on you doing it, because it's a job you should do as an artist. Oh, somebody is watching the beach heart-shaped one when you came live. Can't wait to finish it. Oh, well, thank you for doing that and stopping. Oh, your hand's still too painful to do art. Just keep writing ideas down in your book then. Alright, I'm just going to bend down, because for me, if I just look at it from different perspectives, what I'm trying to look now is for the detail folds, because this is the last time to sculpt before it fully cures. You definitely can come back and you can tweak little things, but that's when you're risking putting a strain on it. But I don't know if it's too upright. I did want it to be like that. You've got to sort of imagine it without the glass. I feel that needs to come down a little bit, so I'm just going to puff it out at the sides a little bit. I'm going to drop it. This is where you might come in really useful for me if I say look alright like that, or maybe if I bring that up a little bit like that. Alright, I like that a little bit more. Start to correct where you've done it before or where you've put it. This is the part which might become very boring for you while I'm doing this. But at least you get to see what I'm normally doing when I do them. And the thoughts that go through my mind when I am doing them. Alright, I like that a lot more. From there, you might not be able to see what I've done, but I've just dropped it a little bit, pulled it out, and I'm just going to leave that bend to sort itself out. And then that, but I feel like it's quite... Sorry, I go off into my own little world now. I feel like this side needs to drop out a little bit. I'm going to loosen it a little bit. Take off its bandages. Maybe this one needs to be slightly taller. But don't be pressured. You can manipulate it a lot, because I'm keeping a lot of weight off it. I'm just trying to see. No, that doesn't look right. And sometimes just an inch to the left, an inch to the right can make all the difference to it. So don't be frightened to play around until you get the balance. And don't be afraid to look at different perspectives or just tweak a few little things. It's very hard to think about what sometimes with it when it's with all the stuff in the middle. What am I trying to say then? The stuff in the middle distracts you from the beauty. You've got to try and block it out and see beyond it, which sometimes can get a little frustrating, but that's just the reality of it. No, I think I liked it better up. What do you reckon? More up? As it is? Give me some inspiration or thoughts. More up? Alright. Patricia, I'm trusting you. Sometimes you can do all, you just got to keep practicing. Practice, practice, practice. Learn from your mistakes. Alright, Patricia. That is more up. I actually quite like that. Alright, that feels more balanced. What do you think? Just a little up this side or that? More up. Much better. So I don't want it to be too symmetrical. I think maybe if I try bringing this one up a little bit as well. Sorry, I'm just trying to create a space I can put something in here, because I want this part to tip out a little bit. You get to see my thinking face. I just think such as that, I want to see some difference, like that's going out, that's going up, it's coming in, it's going around there. I just didn't want it bouncing back on itself, which it will do unfortunately once you go to sleep, and if one of these falls off it sort of does its own stuff. Sorry. I think I'm just going to curl here. We'll come back and have a little look at your comments. How long did it sit before you started sculpting it? I worked on it for an hour, and then I waited 4 minutes to drape it for the first stage of sculpting, and then another 4 hours. Like that. Alright. I don't know. I look at it 1 minute and I think, yeah, that's good. That's good. And then I look at the next minute and I think, no, no, no. It's just too straight now, this one. This particular one's too straight. I don't like it. I want it to look a little bit more organic. Just a tiny little bend in there will make me feel much happier. See, there's lots of backwards and forwards in. It's all the time that goes into it. It is, I do so much editing, cutting out the amount of time that I do stuff, obviously to help you, but this is the kind of stuff that you guys see, just the process. Okay, I've got a little bend in there, like that. Run out on my paper. It's no good. Bear with me. I've got plenty more, it's just in the other room. I just didn't want to have to go in the other room. How bad's that? Alright, I lost a little bow there. Push this down a little bit, and then that is done. She says. Alright. Alright, I quite like that because it's up still, but it's got that tiny little bit of bow there, creating a little bit more interest. And that one's curving up, but that's curving round. You can see the two separate pieces. I can keep that one a bit looser. Alright, so I think I'm going to end up with it like that, and I think that's going to look very pretty on a windowsill. Now this is done with pigment, so it's not going to like fade or anything like that. I think you're going to get some nice lights catching through this, and I will do a video for it when I deconstruct this and show you it, so you'll get to see that in, I'd say, 2 days. And then you could put a candle in the middle of this, a little tea light or nothing, little plant pot, anything like that, but it's just not going to hold a lot of water because of the design on it. But I'm going to take it off stand and I'm going to bring it in a little bit closer just so you can see some of the colours and the design concept with mega structure work. Bear with me. Avert your eyes if you're going to get a little bit of motion sickness as I take you to the area. Alrighty, so let's move this out of the way. So just down here we've got that little bit of curving. Oh, my finger. Down at the bottom, so you can still see the two different layers. And you've got that bend there. And as we go down the bottom there, this one's bending more in. And then as you look at it from the side, look like that. And then there's that nice curve and bow there. You've got your layers coming through at the bottom. And then that is it. So it is time to wrap this one up because it's late at night and I know that people are off to bed like me, but I did want to show you how I do the fine. Oh, nearly knocked my thing over this final stages of sculpture. I'll just check if there's any questions before I say bye-bye. Oh, lost my stand. All right, I'm just going to have a little check and see if there's any questions or anything anybody wants to know before I say bye-bye. Bear with me while I just have a little look. Oh, no, you are definitely not losing your marbles. It is a lot of to and fro to get it right. We can make it look so good on a video or quick and easy, but the struggles are real. Keep with it. Looks like a tulip. Yeah, I can see that. Glad you got to see me live as well, Karen. Hi, Manny dear. Good to see you also. Yeah, straight vase would work. You will get there very soon. You just got to give it time, and then you'll be able to start creating. So, yeah, I will. I'll probably film it tomorrow, and it'll be uploaded on Tuesday. You'll get to see the end result, because this needs to stay like this really for 24 hours just to make sure it's fully set, and then I've got to deconstruct it, which I will film, and then I'll film you sort of the review. So there'll be a very quick video reviewing it, so that should be Tuesday, so watch this space. But I'm going to say thank you so much. Just remember to thumbs up, it really helps. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for being here and watching me work through this vase, and I think it's going to be a Bobby Dazzler. I really think it's nice. So yeah, I'll speak to you later. Thank you so much for hanging out. And I'm going to turn it off behind the screens, and have a wonderful day, and I'll do a live in 2 weeks time. Bye.